The grandmother picked up the one from the street alive the day after the neighbor heard chilling screams. When an old woman approached a pit bull dog that was on the street, she thought it would be good to take it home since it was better to be there under a roof than to continue wandering. However, she never imagined that the day after the unthinkable would happen, the story that you will see below happened on the ground of eastern Russia, more specifically in the town of Chimichy. This fact became very well known in that place, and I share it because it helps us think if it is good not to save. An animal from the street. For a week, an old woman named Maria Petrov heard a rumor that a very dangerous dog was wandering around the town. It was so dangerous that no one believed that prison and the woman was not indifferent to animals. During her life, she helped many when she could. She had a really kind heart, so she thought it would be a good idea to help him if she found him. On the fourth day, the woman went shopping, and yes, she did indeed find the dog. But despite the fact that he looked very well cared for, he was very hungry. Since he was in the garbage, logically, the older woman wondered where he had come from since she had never seen a dog like that in her life. "Where did you escape from?" she asked him. When time spent alone, the dog only wagged its tail. Maybe possibly it had been abandoned or it had gotten lost. Until it arrived in town, the woman believed, but the old woman did not think it was as dangerous as many others said, so she entered the market and came out with a dog collar and took it to her house. On the way, the client told her neighbor, "It is a very dangerous dog. It is a pit bull. She should leave it." The old woman did not want to pay attention. Her heart was so big that she could not do it. Besides, she was not afraid of its appearance, and she knew that if she left it on the street, the dog would probably die of hunger since no one would approach it. When she got home, she fed it. She also put a mat on the floor for the pit bull to rest. And so 6 days passed. The old woman had also left notices in her house and in some parts of town in case someone was looking for her dog. But no one came. After 2 weeks of Piguet, he felt much better. He did not even want to leave the old woman for. In a moment, Marie had had children, but they grew up and rarely came to visit her. So for women, living had become her own child. The whole town was surprised that the Pib walked with her and followed her everywhere. He also had a new name that Maria had given him now. The pit bull was called Milo. On the other hand, every time the old woman sat in her living room in the afternoons, she would tell me a lot of things about her life. The dog Kim lay on the carpet. I listened attentively to everything she said. They both had become inseparable. After a few months, the woman wanted to wash some clothes in the river that was next to her patio right in the back of her house. So she got into the water's edge, but without realizing it, she slipped on a rock in a second. The water fell and she began to be carried away. By the current, the woman began to scream very loudly, asking for help. She was a very strong habit of helping. But no one came to her aid, and just when she was about to drown, I heard what one of them had been playing in the front of the house. I hear her, so instantly he ran like never before towards where she was. He reached the river, and seeing that the old woman was in great danger, he got in with his great strength of life. He fought him against the current. He managed to get to where she was then, the old woman towards death mind of her neck. Then he gave it to me again against the current. The weight of the woman made it more difficult for the dog, but he did not give up, and finally he managed to get to the shore, rescuing in this way. Very ironically, the elderly woman, soon an elderly neighbor, also appeared very distressed. He had heard the woman scream, but he could not enter her house because the door was closed, so he had to find a way to get to her, and that had taken him some time. The neighbor thought that the kid was attacking him, but he was surprised to find that he was actually saving Maria's life, to whom the pit bull was hugging with tears. In her eyes, repeated to him, "Thank you for saving me, dear. Thank you very much." His neighbor, who was not very, and said to him, "It is time for you to remove the ads that you left. Nobody will come for him or claim him. Now he chose you, and he was angel guardian, had one day you saved him, and now he saved you. He is grateful for your skill and care, so he feels very happy to have a faithful dog with you." The skunk woman, with these words and looked with love at her savior, kept playing with me and didn't even realize he was a hero. He just did what he had to do for his beloved owner. Many say that pivots are very dangerous, but it is not like that they are only the reflection of their owners and are treated with love. They will also treat you with love. They, as stands, are still a dog, and a dog will always be man's best friend. Not what it is. I hope you liked this video. If so, do not hesitate to watch us, a program I was going to comment and share. I liked it, worth it. Thank you very much for watching us, by the way. I invite you to subscribe to this if you are not already and activate the notification bell to receive the latest we upload. Until next time.